All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Chamber Talk with Torrie. Today's episode is going to be featuring Erin Heideman, president of the Oregon Wheat League Growers, Oregon Wheat Growers League. There we go. I got to get that in the right order. Together, we're going to be working to discuss about wheat growing across the state, some of the work they're doing in the legislative area, the market, local outlook on what that looks like. And I'm really excited about this topic today because not only that, Erin and I's family have been longtime wheat growers as well. My family is actually a Century Farm, and I'm assuming your part of your family's is as well. So, you know, this is going to be a great discussion about something we love. So here we go. Let's just get right into it. So Oregon Wheat Growers League is the oldest wheat trade association in the country. Yeah. Founded back in 1926. Yes. That's impressive.
It is.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the history of that.
Yeah. So Oregon Wheat Growers League right now comprises about 2,000 growers statewide, and we are the oldest grower association in the country. It was the first one established in 1926 in Sherman County. Ironically, some people on this podcast might recognize the name Marion Weatherford from Gillum County. He was in that space when it started.
I was a good friend of my family.
Yes,
actually.
So we are moving into what we consider the 100th year of Oregon wheat, and we've got some exciting things coming.
That's exciting. So perspective here in Morrow County in our region, this little tight region we have, what has that wheat production been on our local economy and communities?
Sure. In Morrow County, there's about 596,000 acres grown. Okay. It's the number 2 commodity in this county right now. About 375 farms, roughly. 90 to 95% of all the wheat grown in Morrow County, and I'll include Gillum and Umatilla because the port, a lot of it goes to the port, is exported overseas. So our main target markets are Bangladesh, Thailand, Vietnam, etc. And that's where we're setting things, and we're trying to grow wheat for their milling properties and what they're looking for on a global system. So it gets taken to the port or Arlington, shipped down on a barge to the port of Portland on an ocean vessel, and then shipped overseas.
Gotcha. So let's just touch on, we talked about this is the 100th anniversary, and we kind of skipped a little bit there, but let's go back into order here. What does this milestone mean for the Oregon wheat growers?
We're actually really, really excited. 3 major things that have happened for our organization that we're doing in celebration for the 100th. Last week I was in Salem. We signed a resolution that creates an official Oregon Wheat Day.
I heard that.
Yes. So in future, February 11th will be the official Oregon Wheat Day.
Okay.
Typically, Oregon Wheat goes down to the Capitol building on Valentine's Day because it's Oregon's birthday. We do a big cake. Because it's a wheat product, but now I think we'll push that to the 11th because that's a very, very special day. Another thing that we're doing in celebration of is we've created a Pendleton blanket. We've worked with Pendleton Woolen Mills. That is now live. You can purchase a Pendleton blanket.
Yes.
OregonWheatGrowersLeague.com, OWGL if you'd like to. And they are numbered with a leather patch at the bottom.
Yep. So I have one coming.
I have a few. My boys' wedding gifts at some point.
Exactly.
So kind of a really special thing to do. And something that's been a pet project for me is I'm working with Stein Distilleries in Joseph, and we are creating an Oregon wheat whiskey. 2 bottles. One bottle that will be something similar to like a Pendleton bottle. It will be a commemorative bottle. There'll be a few liquor stores that carry it. Hermiston will be one, so that's the closest. I haven't talked to Boardman, so we'll see if I can talk to Richard about that as an option. Yep. And then the other one will be a box engraved with Oregon wheat, and then inside will be a placard about the organization, and then a list of all the 100 presidents on the backside.
That'll be fun.
So a really special thing to do. We've got some more activities coming that'll be, kid related and a few other things like that, but that'll come out in November. We have our state convention in November, and there'll be some more things then.
Awesome. That's wonderful. So now talking about the 100 presidents and all this happened, what is the structure explain the structure of Oregon Wheat, and how do the league and the commission, the foundation, and all this
How's it all work together? So think about Oregon Wheat is divided into 3 parts. So think about 3 circles. The first one is the league. That's where I'm president of.
Okay.
The league is voted upon by the membership, and the vast majority of the league's job is advocacy, policy, procedure. I spend a lot of time in D.C., etc. It's made up of an elected board. Mm-hmm. The elected board is a county president elected by the general membership. So okay. Jake Lindsay in Morrow County is ours at elects. And then you have an executive board. So you start out, and it's a 4-year commitment. Secretary, treasurer, vice president, president, immediate past. And that's all elected at the annual membership in November. Okay, so this year we're joining with Idaho. We'll be in Sun Valley, Idaho, right before Thanksgiving. The second part is the commission. Uh-huh. The commission, like other commodity groups, is all done by the Oregon Department of Ag. So you have to be elected, applied, and done. And they have run under different parameters because they are considered a government agency. Ironically, my younger brother Tyler is the chairman of the commission. So you can imagine what our dining room table, family dinners look like. And it's really pretty cool to talk about wheat. In fact, we were just together on a joint meeting yesterday. And then the third part, let me back up. The commission's job is marketing and quality. So this is where we're getting U.S. Wheats Associates. This is where we're creating markets. This is where we're establishing trade teams, et cetera. That's that purview. To market beyond. Mostly that. Most of the wheat that we eat here in the U.S. is derived from the Dakotas. Okay. Because you cannot ship overseas. So if you're looking at your loaf of Wonder bread, it was probably from North Dakota, Colorado, Nebraska direction. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the third part is the foundation. The foundation is basically education and outreach. So they do the scholarships. When you see a wheat grower scholarship, that's foundation. Mm-hmm. The golf tournament, foundation. Yeah. The baking contest at the county fair. Foundation. Okay. So that's how those all work. Generally, you started on the league position and then you work yourself through the ranks on the other 3. Gotcha. But a lot of these folks were past presidents. They're growers. They're a lot of local farmers that just want to see wheat sustained through the next generation. Right. Mm-hmm. Perfect. I like that. So you touched on policy. Can you share how the Oregon Wheat Growers League is working to support farmers here in Morrow County and across the state? Yes. So part of my job as president is to advocate for wheat on a state and national level. I spend a great amount of my time in Salem, especially during the long session when we were talking about, there was a lot of things. There was a lot of things. And I loved it, actually. Yeah. But getting to testify and be in those spaces, and I was probably in Salem every 7 to 10 days. Mm-hmm. And that was my job as part of the president of the league. And again, everything is vetted through our league, is our advocacy, to make sure that I am representing growers, not just me, myself. Right. And then I probably am in D.C. 4 to 8 times a year. Kind of depends on the things. What's happening there and the discussions that are happening. Ultimately, we need a farm bill. Yeah. We haven't had a farm bill since 2018, and that's the biggest place, honestly. And what would that farm bill, for those who don't know that, what would that farm bill look like, and what would that do for our area? What most probably don't know is that the farm bill, almost 80% of it is SNAP and food benefits. Okay, so that makes up the farm bill. It's not just for making sure we have crop insurance and we have a reference price when we go to banks and we have a loss on our insurance. It's mainly SNAP and food benefits, which you cannot have unless the farmers are sustained, because the entire purpose of a farmer is to feed people. Right. But there's a lot of conflict and a lot of politics and a lot of opinions in that space. I have my own. Yeah. But the bottom line is people need to eat. Yes. Yeah. So passing a farm bill will help farmers in this region, specifically with reference price, which allows them to get a bank loan, because then the banks know that if this insurance pays out because we had a loss for whatever reason, they're going to get their money at the end. But right now they're not loaning because we don't know what the reference price is, or it's based on 2018 prices, which is not even near what we are. Yes, completely irrelevant. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. But food costs continue to rise, as we all know. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Because we have a bunch of teenage boys and we feed them a lot. Yes, we do. God bless them. Yes, right. So you touched on crops today. Yes. What does the crop conditions look like now, and what do you think the season's going to look like for next year? A lot of guys are seeding right now. Yes. It was probably pretty good to have some rains during Roundup week. Folks were busy in this region. Yes. So it was a good time to get a little rain. But yesterday morning, folks were busy, and our seed plants are really, really busy because we've got a little moisture. It's time to get in the ground.
Right.
We're still in a drought situation, but through the cooperation of groups like Oregon State University, grain, businesses like Lima Grain, constantly developing
new type of grain. That are resilient or can
withstand
certain degrees.
Or some are bigger and some are shorter. And what are you looking for? Are you trying to get a straw crop at the end? Like what's your management style?
And what are you looking to achieve at the end of the day?
Yes, what's your business model? Yes, it's so hopeful. And again, seeding, like if you want to know what farmers, like their kind of their guide in this region, folks generally have wheat in the ground by Halloween. Right. That's like the go. Like if you're going to talk about what's your wheat season, what's your product, we start about there, and you put it in the ground. You know, none of us need to go to Vegas because we're putting thousands, like 5 to 10 figures, right in the ground, hoping to goodness that it
roll the dice.
Yes, we get snow, we do all the things, and then harvest around the 4th of July.
Right.
Yep, that's usually our plan.
Area. It's been a little later last couple of years.
Yes. Temperature, rain, soil conditions. There's a whole bunch of parameters, but that's roughly if you didn't know anything about wheat. Halloween to 4th.
To the 4th, yes. Mm-hmm. So on that, so consumers' curiosity around wheat, and we're talking about the Roundup concern and what's genetically modified and all that. What's that look like?
Okay, so to understand all of that, probably some of your viewers don't even understand, how do you measure wheat? Like, how does it go out?
Yep.
So not very many people can say how big an acre is. For perspective, an acre is about a football field. Mm-hmm. So for those of us in layman terms, a bushel of wheat is a 5-gallon bucket, roughly 60 pounds. So the objective for farmers is to get as many 5-gallon buckets per football field as possible.
Yep.
That's the deal. Mm-hmm. We were a little bit above average. So you just kind of play the game, and it's different in this country versus like the Athena country, for example. A lot of folks have a lot of conversation with me about what gluten is, what glyphosate is, and what GMOs are, the 3 Gs. So gluten is basically just a natural protein found in wheat. It's what allows your dough to be stretchy. Yep. So when you see products like eggs or meat as gluten-free, duh. It is a wheat-only product. Yep. Okay, it's a natural protein. It is not that big a deal.
And some people's body don't like it.
Yes, and if you have celiac disease, you do not like it.
Do not like it.
Yes, but it's not a bad thing.
No.
In general terms.
It's a natural product.
It's a natural protein. The second part I always get asked is about glyphosate, which is the grower term for Roundup.
Roundup, yeah.
For perspective, glyphosate is a herbicide. It is not applied to wheat. Wheat is a grass. So it's not applied. But in our region, in the dryland areas, you will often see, if this was one field and this was one field, this is in rest and this is in crop. Yeah. Because it takes 2 years worth of moisture to build a crop. So what I harvested in 2024 has been laying in a rest, and I'm getting ready to seed it right now. In fact, tomorrow I start seeding. Okay, I have applied glyphosate or Roundup on my fallow, on my rest ground to take care of the weeds because it competes for moisture. Yep. Now, am I applying anything that I need to? Don't need to? No. Is it extraordinarily expensive? Yes. Here's what you can kind of guess. So take a pop bottle can. Okay, for perspective, that is applied with about 2,000 to 5,000 gallons of water as a carrying agent per acre. Yep. That's how much we're applying, and we're
very minimal.
Very minimal. And my bill is 5 figures.
Right.
I don't need to go to Vegas.
No.
Because I'm just
roll the dice.
Yes. And I get paid once a year, and I hope that I can cover my expenses.
Yes, exactly.
So what a lot of folks also don't understand about wheat is not a GMO in the U.S.
Okay.
It is not. There are 11 crops in the U.S. that are potatoes, alfalfa, papaya, summer squash, pineapple, corn, or sweet corn and field corn. So anything that has corn syrup, GMO. Some of the other canola, cotton, sugar beets. There's a number of one. Wheat is not, and the reason for that is because our international markets won't buy it.
Oh, okay.
Could shift. I'm hoping it would shift. Personally, not from a league perspective.
Right.
But right now we can't. So much of our wheat is exported. We cannot do a GMO.
Right. Okay. Well,
but we've been eating them for years.
Yes.
Decades, actually, that most don't even understand.
A lot of things are GMO anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we talked about exports and that kind of stuff. So 90% of the wheat crop is exported out of Oregon right now, and up the Columbia River system. Can you explain why the river barging is so important, and both economically and environmentally?
Oh, the transportation.
I love this conversation,
yes,
by the way. It happens right here in my facility. Here
yes, I don't even know how you can even argue it.
No, you can't.
Right. It is I have a lot of opinions on power. But again, I'm representing the league, so probably best to stick to topics.
Right, yes.
Okay. Cheapest, most reliable transportation cost that we have in the Pacific Northwest. We are so lucky to have this space for transportation.
Our river system.
Oh, it's incredible, incredible. Let's kind of put it in perspective. If you took a barge out of production, it would be about 150 semi trucks. And of course, we've had the transportation bill and the gas tax and all this per barge.
Yes.
Tires, wear and tear. If you're looking at a traffic jam, like, oh my gosh, I don't even know when to go to Portland.
Yes.
Does it matter?
Right.
We're not looking at a traffic jam at Troutdale or beyond. It's going to be
here.
Yes, minimum Hood River, the Dalles,
yeah.
and beyond, and it's going to be nuts. I did learn a lot about barges this year because, I know that they went there, but I've never worked in an elevator. I've never gone, and my middle son, because of the ag overtime law, got hired away from us because he could make more money somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay, and I learned a lot about that space as well. It takes 8 hours to load a barge.
Yeah.
And the folks loading the barge have to test the protein quality and the protein moisture every 10 minutes in that 8 hours.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yes. So there's a lot of testing that happens when it goes through and around and
and what you're
container to
yes,
container
and
location.
There's a lot of education that should happen in that elevator space.
Yep.
Because oftentimes you just get who you can hire to unload trucks, but it's a huge step in the transportation cost.
That's the whole conversation we can have in its own here about just that process with like Morrow County green growers, for instance, the work that they do to get our commodity shipped up and down.
Well, and what comes back.
Yeah.
So that you're not sending something, you can't send something back empty.
No.
We can't afford that. Like, how do we do all those things?
And,
It's incredible, and the guys that run those schedules are pretty well organized.
And so when we talk about that, we're talking one single barge can carry up to 125,000 bushels of wheat. That's a lot. Let's go with a quote, $2.5 million loaves of bread to be made out of that.
2.5 million loaves.
Out of that one barge, right? That's incredible.
It's nuts. But a lot of so there's two types of major types of wheat that are going down the river for us. There's 6 classifications, but there's 2 majorly grown in Morrow County, and there's soft white and hard red. Soft white is mainly for your noodles. Okay, so that's mainly what's grown in Morrow County. There's some hard red, but there's a number of input costs that come with hard red to meet a protein spec. So soft white, and that's typically what we're sending down because we're making a noodle or a sponge cake or something in Korea. Okay, and then the other one is hard red, and hard red is bread. That's where you're going to get your cookies, your cakes, and your bread varieties.
Gotcha.
So producers have a lot of options to choose from. They can blend varieties if they want to plant them, but we rely a lot in testing through our university systems to determine, and that's what those field days are for.
Right.
Like we attend a field day once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, and try to figure out what we're going to plant in the next year, or what's being grown right now will be available in 3 years, and is that something we want to do?
Right.
Because it takes some time.
Right. So, and this isn't on our script. I'm going to throw it at her because I love throwing things off script. So you personally mill some of your wheat.
I do.
We sell it here in the Sage Center. It's one of our main things. We haven't had it for a while because you haven't milled any.
Because I ran out.
Right. What's that look like? And what does that mean to you? And
Well, it was COVID, honestly, because you couldn't find any flour. And I thought, how am I a wheat farmer and not grinding my own flour? That makes absolutely zero sense.
So you need another test to do.
I know, and it's a disaster. When you grind it, you are a mess, and you have to dedicate an entire day because it takes so long and it's so loud. So put on your podcast or your classical music or whatever you're going to listen to, and you grind for hours, and you are a mess. But I do it small, and
But the benefit of it is it's yours.
It's yours. It's not processed. It's not bleached.
Yes.
I know where it came from.
Right.
It's as fresh as it can get.
I know. We love it. We sell it fast, and we hope you get it
and
back.
why did it take me to that point?
Right. Well,
sometimes, you need a little reminder about all the, I'm a wheat farmer. I should brand my own flour.
Probably promote
using my own product.
Right?
Yeah. So, no, it's been really good. And I just do it, I do it in my shop, and then I package it in my kitchen.
Wonderful. That's awesome.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things we can do with our wheat that we grow here locally. And, we are blessed with what we have around here. We have a lot of diversity in types of soil, elevations. There is flood irrigation wheat. There's dryland wheat.
Circle pivots.
We got tons of stuff that is done here, and it's just incredible to see all the farmers, finding their niche of what works for their family or their properties.
Moore County is really pretty unique in that space.
Yep.
Because you have so much water on the north end and not as much on the south,
yeah.
You are really able to diversify your cropping systems that benefit the community in some way, shape, or form.
Is there a difference in that kind of crop? Like
the different varieties?
No, like difference the type of the way you grow it. Do you find differences? Is there different things in it?
Not necessarily different things, but different yields.
Yields?
For example, my proven yield, and this is over a 10-year average, is 42 bushels to the acre. Mm-hmm. If you had irrigation, you're looking at 130.
Right.
Which is why you won't see
controlled.
It's controlled. You have water applicant, and you can crop it every year. So it might be wheat one year, and then you're going to rotate it out with potatoes or corn the next, because you're wanting to use your nitrogen in your soil
for the depths.
Yes, in an appropriate way without having to add.
Right.
So you're so much more flexible if you have water to, I won't say necessarily a higher value, but a different crop.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. It is unique. Morrow County is unique to that, like you said.
Well, and just to watch how the port has developed and what that has done for the growers in our region has been tremendous.
Yeah, and we did a slight shout out to Morrow County grain growers, but also for the Port of Morrow and their investment in our area. The rail system down here to the rail to barge and barge to rail is one of the only ones, I think, in the region, maybe even in the U.S.
Until you get to Idaho.
Until you get to Idaho, that you can go from rail to barge or barge to rail direct.
Very quickly
with time saving in the product and stuff like that. So
and how do we move it beyond just wheat? And I think there's a little corn being involved in that because we have such big feedlots.
Yes,
so that's being brought in by rail in all kinds of places.
Yep. And barging up and down the river.
But feeding livestock is another big part of it.
Feeding livestock and humans is what we try to do out here in Eastern Oregon every day.
And that's what a farming entity is for.
Yes. So what would you like to leave with our community and our viewers that have joined us today on this discussion and just stuff that's important for Oregon Wheat League?
I would say I'm a fifth generation farmer, and I am doing my level best to pass it on to the next generation in a better state. That is my job, and that's one of the reasons I decided to be so involved in Wheat League, is to do that in hopes that one of my boys want to come home and farm and bring their spouse and live next to me.
Right.
A big ask.
A big ask.
I live next to my mother-in-law, Della, 30 years, right? So we're trying to do all of these things. And I would just leave that whatever organization that you are a part of, I would encourage you to join your professional organization, whatever that is.
Yep.
And get involved in that space. If you're a corn grower, a potato grower, a wheat grower, a teacher's organization, plumbers, like whatever that space is, that's the only way that you're going to be able to propel your organization and your industry forward.
Yes. Cattle. I'm in the Oregon Cattlemen's Association.
Yes, so am I.
You got to promote and support. Yes.
So the only thing that I would like to leave with you today is I want to leave Torrie. This is my favorite wheat product.
What?
Number one product in red vines is wheat.
Seriously?
Seriously. It's my favorite.
Did not know that.
I'm leaving this for Torrie and her staff.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, that was a great conversation today. Thank you for sharing all your information and the success of Oregon Wheat Growers League in our area and our state, and the congratulations on 100 years.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Congratulations on the new date of the actual state day of the wheat, which is
You'll
exciting.
be seeing some more things coming forward.
Yes.
And after November.
Yes, and if you want to learn anything more about the Oregon Wheat League, Growers League, you can find it in the comments. We're going to be, my staff is going to drop some links in there and some social media, and just be on the lookout of fun things coming down the pipeline for the Oregon Wheat Growers League. And that being said, I look forward to seeing you guys all in the next Chamber Talk with Torrie, and have a wonderful afternoon. Bye, guys. God.